Hello PCboard.com, this is Tony. I'm here to bring you a quick tutorial on how to set up a simple home web server. I will be using Abyss web server because my main operating system is Linux, but if you are using Windows, I recommend EasyPHP. You can do a quick Google about it and check it out. EasyPHP is pretty nice. It's minimal configuration, auto installs, auto launches the server, and usually disables all the directory listings and stuff like that. So yeah, check that out if you're using Windows. But if you're using Linux or Mac like me, I recommend using Abyss web server. Alright, so let's get started. You're going to open up a web browser, go to google.com, and type in Abyss web server. You're going to click that first link here. You're going to go to downloads. You're going to hit the free download, and you're going to download the version that pertains to your operating system. So I'm using Linux, so I'm going to download this one. And you're going to save it to your desktop. You want to go ahead and extract it. Alright, now go ahead and open up a terminal. We're going to CD to the desktop. And we're going to chmod the entire web server folder so we can give the permissions to the launch file for the web server. So chmod r777 abyss.ws. Go ahead and change directory into the server folder and list the files. And you'll see the first file listed is the launch file for the Abyss web server. So you're going to go ahead and launch that. /abyss.ws, and it'll say a configuration file was created. Default host on port 8000 is up and running. So you can go ahead to your web browser. You can go to localhost. Go to port 8000. And you'll see your web server is up and running. Now, if you want to go configure it a little bit to listen on a different port, you can go to localhost port 9999. So we'll go ahead and do that. Pick your language. It's going to ask you to make a login. So you're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And it'll prompt you for your login one more time when you create it for the first time. I've already done this, so it's not going to ask me again. But as you'll see, it'll say default host on port 8000, status is running. We're going to go ahead and configure it. You're going to hit the general, and you'll see your protocol and your port here. Now, if you have certificates for security, for your web server, if you plan on going through the trouble of all that for a home web server, you can go ahead and use one of these protocols. And of course, you're going to put it on port 8000. Port 80. So you're going to go ahead and click OK. You're going to restart the server. And mine says listening error, but that's because I have a web server running on another machine right now, so go ahead and ignore that. Yours should say running, and it should be running just fine. Now, now that your web server is configured the way you want, actually, I'm sorry, why don't we go back into configuration here, and I forgot about this web server, because I'm used to EasyPHP. Go to the directory listing option, and disable the standard listing. You want to do this so when people navigate throughout your web server, they don't stumble across, hidden files and, stuff basically you don't want the public seeing. You want to keep that out of their sight. So you're going to go ahead and disable that. Okay. Now, after that's all configured, you can go ahead and navigate into your Abyss web server folder. Go to htdocs. and this is your web root. You can put your software here, your test website, your main website, whatever you want to do here. This is, whatever you want on the internet. This is where it's going to be, in this folder right here. If you want to change which folder your web root is going to be, you have to go back into the control panel, go to the general option, and change the path on where the folder is for the web root, and then you're going to have to restart your server to save the changes. Okay, guys, that was a quick tutorial on how to set up a simple home web server using Abyss web server. If you have any questions, go ahead and post in the thread, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is Tony from PCBoard.com. Thanks for watching.